All right, you guys, I'm so excited to introduce today's Plexus Rising Leader speaker because I met her at Jewel School. And I think one of my favorite things about Jewel School is you meet other leaders who are really 2 feet all in. They are learning, they are growing, they're saying, I do not have this all figured out, but I am committed to figuring things out. And that is Lacy. And so we just connected and bonded in the gym, and then we went for walks and then we went to dinner and we just kept talking, and I just love her so much. So, Lacy, with no further ado, I'm gonna let you take it away, girl, and share with us all like everything that
Yeah.
you're bringing.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for hosting these calls and for calling us to level up our leadership. It's easy to go to other people's trains, be like, I'll let them train. But I appreciate the opportunity to share and your consistency and all the things that you're working on over there and helping everybody get better. I'm going to share some things that I have right now. I shared a little bit of this on a call last week for the first time, and I was like, okay, these are things I need to share again. I'm going to go through them, but Tracy, at any time, if you're like, okay, stop, tell us about this, or hold on, or wrap it up, we got things to do, feel free to do that. Okay. But I know you all are pushing. I'm going to move the camera so I can see all your faces. Hello. Okay. Now I can see you guys. Thanks for being on today, guys. Okay. How many of you are working towards something today? Like right now in the trenches? Like you're like, yes, we're doing it. Okay. Same. I went on my team chat today and I was like, oh, so and so's one person away, this person away, this person can re-rank. So we got the list and we just had a girl hit senior silver. So we're excited about that. But we got lots of pieces, so everybody's so close. I'll try to give you something that will be helpful and I don't want to waste your time today. I know that you guys are here because you value growth and that's what I want to talk about. So I think we call this, what was the title of this, Tracy? What did you call this?
I think we
This
called it like we started out with like 10 lessons you learned on the road to Emerald, and then it was like things I've learned in Plexus and how they've impacted every area of my life. Because what we do here in Plexus, like, how many of y'all raise your hands? You've learned something for your Plexus business and seen that ripple effect into like every other area of your life. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Yeah. Okay. So more than just a business, like this is
more than
all
just a business.
for yeah, I think that is more the vibe. So I'll just start real quick with my health testimony. By the way, I hit Emerald in December, and let me just say I'm Lacy Griffin. I'm in South Carolina right now. My husband's a pastor. We have 2 kids. We homeschool. I hit Emerald in December. I have been doing Plexus 11 years. 11 years. Um, Long journey, but we're going to start with just my health testimony because that's where everybody starts, right? So when I was before Plexus, I was like, I went from like junk food junkie, not healthy, to God put really healthy, holistic people in my life in college. And I did a 180 and I went from like extreme, like never had eaten a salad around a mile, any of that stuff, to like, I'm all in. Like, what can I learn? It was so exciting. And I was noticing that I wasn't big boned. I didn't feel good and I was a little overweight because of my lifestyle. And God putting people in my life who were really healthy, it was like, oh, you do things differently. That's why you have a different result. And so that sparked my passion to just steward my health better and just to learn more about natural health. So in college, but way before Plexus, I made those changes and I went from one extreme to the other. So I started running, I started juice cleansing, and I got extreme with that. And I went from one unhealthy state to a what looked healthy, but also became very unhealthy. I was running like 50 miles a week. I know, like I went from one extreme to the other. I was juice cleansing like 2 weeks every other month. And I just felt like I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to be this extreme. I have to work so much harder than everyone else. And I didn't realize that there was a balance and I was not anywhere close on either side. So I always felt like I just need to work harder. And this is where Plexus kind of comes into my life. After my first son was born, Jude, 4 months postpartum, I had this thought that, okay, first time mom, after you have the baby, then the weight comes off. That's what I thought. That's what people told me. And 4 months had gone by, and like I was gaining weight and I was devastated. I was so devastated. And I thought, I will never be me again. I had this reputation in college for being a marathon runner and a juicer. And everyone's like, she's so healthy. And then I was like, so I don't look like health. And I almost kind of lost my identity because that had become my identity, this new version of me. And it was gone. And I felt like I couldn't get it back. This is when Plexus entered my life. 4 months postpartum, my friend Liz, who was the person who like influenced me to do natural birth. And I just look up to her so much. She said, Lacy, this will help you with hormones. This could help you lose weight. You should try it. And I was like, yes, for sure. But Liz wanted me to do the business, and I had no intention of doing the business. I had so much shame about the way that I looked and felt that I didn't want anything to do with the business. I thought, I'm embarrassed for people to see the way I look right now. But she kept pressing me. And this is why I'm sharing this part is that Liz, before I even said yes to doing the business, she said, you need to make a list of 25 people and share this with them. Like that was part of being a customer almost. Like she made it like, this is what we do. And I said, I don't want to do that. And she kept pressing me. She kept pressing me and she kept pressing me. And this is why I'm sharing this. Hold on just a second. Jude, Ezra, go play, guys. Don't play by mommy's door, please. Okay. They are outside my door with Nerf guns, like right outside the door. Like they're going to bust in and shoot me or something. I'm like, okay. But this is why I'm sharing this. She told me to make a list and I didn't want to do it. But she kept pressing me. And because she kept pressing me, I did finally make that list. And when I did finally make that list, I didn't come up with 25 people. I came up with 200 people that I thought could use Plexus. And then I had this decision to make. Wow, all these people I know because I watched the testimonies, I heard the things. I'm like, all these people I know actually could use it. But am I going to put my name out there? Am I going to do something bold? Am I going to do something scary? And I got distracted with my kids. But the reason I'm telling you that is because I have some builders right now and they've told people to make a list and people aren't doing it. And that's normal. Like there's always going to be that hesitation to take that first step. It doesn't mean that they won't necessarily do it. If you can get them through those first couple actions, they may be somebody who's all in. It's that middle ground where we're like, well, I don't want to push them and you don't want to carry them. But at the beginning, you kind of have to really help people with those fears, even if they're an extrovert, even if they're outgoing, they still get scared. And that's what my friend Liz didn't understand. She's like, but you're an extrovert. Why do you care? And I'm like, because I got a reputation. Like I don't want to lose it over this, like I may be, well, whatever, good with people, but like I want to stay that way. So I'm actually very scared here of what's on the line. And she helped me through that. And I saw the pride and I got over it. And I'm so glad I did. Okay. All that to say, when we were getting started with the business, okay, she said, Lacy, I'm like the achiever, the three, the blue, the like red personality, level 3 achiever, that kind of person. My friend Liz that signed me up is a 2. She's the helper. She's the introvert. She's very calm. And we were besties. And she said, Lacy, this is something we can do. Like I could start an orphanage. And she was giving me all these things of like helping people. And I'm like, I want to go to Hawaii though. And like, I need money to pay my bills. And you're making me feel bad about like just not going hungry. Like I was a pastor's wife and we were so broke when I started Plexus. We didn't even have curtains on the wall, guys. Like we didn't have blinds. We just got a house and we didn't afford to cover. So at night I would have to turn off the lights and crawl on the ground to get stuff so the neighbors wouldn't creep in our windows and see us. Like we were that stinking broke. And she's trying to encourage me like to build an orphanage. And I'm like, okay, but is it wrong? Like if I just want blinds? Is it wrong if I just want some organic food? Is it wrong to just want Mexico? And I was on a team of people who like I was the outcast in that. And for a long time I carried so much shame around like I actually want the money and I'm a pastor's wife. And that's something along the way that I could share if we have time. But God had to help me through that. So anyway, she told me this though, and this is where we're going today. She said, Plexus could be the vehicle, the capital for you to earn the money to do the things you've always wanted to do. And for her, that was an orphanage. Again, I just want to go to Hawaii. But here's what I want to say. 11 years in doing this, almost 12, God has made it so clear to me that the vehicle, Plexus wasn't just the vehicle for money or for capital. Plexus has been the vehicle for me for my personal growth, to help me build and become the person that God has to reach my full potential. And I'm still growing and it's a continual journey. But the win isn't the capital or the prize or the trip or the orphanage. The win is who we become in the process. It's the vehicle for you growing as a person. And because of that, lean in, lean in, lean into the hard, lean into keeping going for 11 years, lean into all of it because it's making you a person that money can't buy, that you have to grow through to get to. So that's the biggest thing. I'm like, thank you, God, for the hard that I didn't want that you used to develop me into the person that I'm so thankful to be and to think like. Because before I didn't think the same way. So I'm going to talk about some of those thinking patterns. That was a long intro, huh? Let me see. What time was it? You're like, yeah, that was a long intro, Lacy. We got business to go. Okay. Okay. So she casted some vision for that, for the vehicle financially. And I did want that. And part of it was like, we would never be able to go on a trip as my husband being a pastor. Our vacation, like we've never lived near family and we didn't have money to take trips. Our vacations were going to see a family at Christmas if we were lucky. And so the thought that I could earn a trip that I could take him to, that was my like, one day I'm going to take you on this Emerald extravaganza. And guys, this year will be the first year I get to do it. But I held on to that. I held on to that. I'm not stopping until I do that. And I think had I not drawn my line in the sand, I wouldn't have stayed. You got to draw your line in the sand and commit and keep going until you get there. So in that, I remember this time, and it was probably 2016, 2017. We started in the end of 2014, 2015. So 2016, 2017, I'm like, I want to get there. I'm ready for Emerald. You know, I'm thinking it's going to happen any day. I didn't know it'd take me 11 years. That'd take me like two, maybe. So I'm hoping, man, God, when is it coming? And I remember looking at my son, and he was playing and we were listening to this song. This was like Lauren Daigle time. And it was a song, When You Don't Move the Mountains, I wish that you would move. You know the song. I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. And I remember thinking like, God, why don't you just move the mountain? Make me a Jew already. And the whole time, this 11 years, I thought, God, I'm being very patient with you, God. Like you haven't done it yet, but I'm still going to trust you. I'm being patient with you. And something happened a couple of years ago where it just clicked, and I'm like, God has been patient with me because he is waiting for me to finally learn the things I need to learn to be ready for the next step. And it took me a while. And so often, if you're in that urgency, like, God, come on, let's do this. God is being patient with you because he knows there's something that is more valuable than the rank, than the paycheck that you have to learn. And a lot of people get that rank or paycheck and they lose it because they didn't learn the thing. That wouldn't be fun either. Of course, I always hope that, like, God, let me get there. Then I'll learn later. I want the money now. Like, I want the trip now, right? But no, like, God has a plan. And I think had I hit Emerald and lost it, I probably would have been really depressed by that. But because it took me so long, it kept me going. It kept me learning. Okay, so here's some questions for you. Are you waiting for God or is he waiting on you? Is he being patient with you? What do you need to learn? Who do you need to become? What action do you need to take? Because leaders are not avoiders. Leaders don't avoid action. So there's something that you're like, oh, I know I want to do this, but I'm just not going to do it because it's uncomfortable. Leaders aren't avoiders. And then invest your time and your money back into yourself. So anything that you are learning or any time that you do have, put it back into your own personal growth. I've invested so much in going to retreats or taking online training, different online coaches, and trying to grow my lid, trying to get through the block. You don't even have to spend a lot of money to develop personal growth with all the free content with podcasts like Debbie Neal, Craig Rochelle, Ed Milet. Brittany Howard has a great podcast. There's so many ways to keep growing. The new book by uh, the guy, John Maxwell. Oh, the new one, How to Get a Return on Failure. So much growth you can do on your own, even if you don't have a lot of money. But invest your time into your own growth to help you get to the next level. And yes, you just got that, Michelle. That's good. It's so good. And then invest your time and your money in some way back into yourself. That's the best investment for your business. It really is good. Okay. How many of you have been in Plexus like longer? I can see some of your faces longer than like 3 years. Raise your hand. Longer than 3 years? Okay. Anyone longer than like 5 years? Okay. Okay. 10. Any tenors? Okay. All right. So one thing that this is just something that kind of came to me. Um, you can't move on when you're carrying a bunch of baggage. So we just flew at Jewel School. Have you ever seen someone like run through the airport and like they're missing their flight and they're cover stuff and they're like, and they kind of look ridiculous running, but they've got all this baggage. They're trying to catch the flight. Maybe there's like family members trailing behind and they're like sprinting and you're like just thanking God that you're not that person, but hoping they make their flight. You can't run your Plexus business with a bunch of baggage. So is there anything that been hurt? We've all been hurt, right? Is there anything that you feel like, man, I'm really having a hard time letting go of this? Whatever that thing may be for you, maybe it's rejection, maybe it's you lost a teammate, maybe someone did you wrong, maybe someone in your family is kind of awkward or like kind of rude about what you do. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know your thing, but I know I've had baggage before. And if you're trying to attract people to do this with you, but you're running with a lot of baggage, nobody's attracted to that person running through the airport. Like they look ridiculous. You're not gonna have the energy that you want to attract people who would be good at this if you're running with baggage, if you're running with resentment, if you're running with hurt or shame. So really pray about that. Say, God, help me get over this so that I can keep going because I'm not going to hold on to this baggage any longer. I got places to go. Okay. Um, Next, let me see. Okay. Work with the dependents. I'm sorry. Don't work with the dependents. Work with the workers and not the dependents. Work with the workers, not the dependents. I think I probably could have taken 11 years and shrunk it down to like 2 or 3 if I understood what that meant. Working with the workers and not the dependents. In the beginning, people need you to give them that courage, that boldness to make the list. It is scary. They're gonna need you to hold their hand, but there gets a point where you have to say you have to become independent. And sometimes we think that we're like leading well by doing so much work for other people. And I think I held so many people back by working their businesses for them. They're too busy. They have a lot going on in life. I'll take over. I'll do this for them. And I ended up managing a lot of customers instead of developing business builders. And I got to the point where I had a girl who went Ruby, but she wasn't plugged in. But I was like, I'm going to get her to Ruby. Her life is hard. I'm going to help her. She had a level two as a who went senior gold, all of customers. And I managed all of their customers. I was managing so many customers, and now they're both gone. They're both gone. And I think I probably spent 2 years of my life really trying to develop that team and put my family on hold and did so much for them that I shouldn't have done. And it didn't serve them like I thought it was because they're not here. They didn't become a leader. I did it for them. And I say that because I got to this point where they were like, oh, we have this going on. I can't. We have this going on. I can't. And I'm like, but I have a family. And then I got like a little resentful. They don't mind my time, but it really was me. I was the one who allowed them to depend on me. And I didn't develop a worker, I developed a dependent. So work with the workers, not the dependent. Okay. Am I going to, is this okay? Like I'm just kind of spitting stuff out. Okay. So next thing I put down is be aligned with what you really want. Be aligned with what do you actually want. Like I said, I was with a team of like level or like Enneagram twos and helpers and like, they wanted to just serve people. And I want to serve people too. It doesn't mean I don't, but I felt really guilty about having goals. Everyone, I don't want to say they made me feel bad. I think that was on me. Like I decided to feel bad about that. I had to work through that mindset of not being like, well, actually I want this. So for a long time, I hid what I was really shooting for behind the products. I'm also a holistic health coach. So I was like, well, that is acceptable, but building a business isn't. And so I hid behind that. And I think, man, that inauthenticity or not being aligned and putting out like, I'm actually building a business and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. This is what God has for me. So often we hide behind the products, but if you want the income, if you want the business, be bold about the business. Don't have shame around it. And if you feel like bad about that, that's a cue that God needs to work through your money mindset. And I say that because I had to work through that so much being in ministry of what church people would think about me if I was building a business instead of just helping people with their health. And they are one and the same, but they're not one and the same. They're really two different things. You can't sell your way to emerald. You can't. And I tried. You can't do it. You have to be a leader of leaders and develop people. So be in line with what you really want. Um, okay. next thing I would say, I think I kind of talked about boundaries real quick, as take, let me go back. Let me tell you a little story. My husband was a basketball coach when we met. Um, we met at a Christian school. He is a pastor, but he went to seminary. We both used to teach at Christian school. And he was the coach, and I started dating him. And then we got married there at the school. And I would sit with some of the parents during his games. And there was like these parents that were kind of fun, but maybe they were a little sassy, at a Christian school. So if the refs were being a little partial, these parents would kind of let them know, like, hey, they boo the refs. And I would be like, oh, this is fun. Yay. And my husband's like, cut it. Cut, like, don't, and I'm like, oh, I'm just having a good time. But yeah, okay, we don't join in when people are blaming refs. And so the games would be over. And I remember my husband saying this to me, like, we can't blame the refs if we made mistakes. And I feel like that is so important for our Plexus business. You can't blame your upline. You can't blame your downline. You can't blame the company. You can't blame your family. You can't blame anyone else if you make mistakes. And maybe those mistakes aren't that you did something wrong, but maybe they're that you're not taking action. Maybe they're that you're not doing something that know you could be doing. If you didn't do all that you could, then you can't blame anyone else. And I'm feeling that today, guys. I'm feeling that today. And it's not even necessarily again that you do something wrong, but I'm thinking today we're shooting for some big goals here. Will they happen? We're going to keep working till midnight. But you know what I'm going to take away is that there were a few things that we needed to work through in our mindsets, me and a couple of my leaders. And I'm like, oh, we worked through something that we didn't know was there. Next month's only going to be better. Next month's only going to be better. I'm not going to say we can't do it. We learned something, we grew, we're going to keep going. So don't blame other people. Take ownership. That's the kind of the point of that. Don't blame the refs. Don't blame the refs. All right. Anyone have a question or interruption of any sort, Tracy?
Oh my gosh, no, I'm like, this is so helpful. We have several pastors' wives on also. And honestly, I think just everything you shared about like money mindset, like
Mm-hmm.
if not pastors' wives, people who have struggled in finances or have lived paycheck to paycheck and like that idea of more, I know for me was like I didn't really trust us with money when I needed, $2,000 a month. But then
Mm-hmm.
like beyond that, I just didn't know what that would mean if I could trust us with that. Like we'd only ever lived paycheck to paycheck in marriage. And so
Yeah.
like I had to work through a lot. I think the other thing you said that I loved is even this month, you're looking and you're saying, I don't know if we're going to achieve the goal, y'all. Lacy is working to re-rank Emerald and earn her John Maxwell
Mm-hmm.
because that's incredible. And you're super close. Like you're a
Yeah.
stone throw away, but it's that everything coming together. So I loved what you said about like, we've learned a lot and next month will be better. I think sometimes we look at this business as pass or fail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to get back into that groove if you're looking at it as you failed instead of
Mm-hmm.
like, look at what we learned. Next month's going to be better.
Yeah. So good, Trace. Yeah. There was a couple of my leaders, and I'm like, I had a call last Monday, and I dropped some things, and I feel like some things clicked, and I'm like, we would be stuck a long time if we didn't work through that. And I can't
Mm.
wait to see how we see the fruit of that mindset shift into next month. So um that's the book too, the John Maxwell, How to Get a Return on Failure.
Yeah.
Success and failure go together. We may not hit the goal, but we also are going to win at some other things. And I'm going to keep hoping we hit the goal. But I know it's coming. It'll be, if it doesn't happen today, it's going to happen next month. I'm expectant on that. So there was a lie that I had to work through after hitting Emerald, and that was that I haven't had an upline or a downline. 2020, I hit Senior Ruby. Slightly after that, my upline had to kind of dip out, both all my upline. I mean, like all the way up, like 7 levels up were are MIA. Um, and then I lost my team at Senior Ruby, like almost all my workers. So I had points, but I didn't have anyone building. And so I was like on an island, and it was really hard. And I was praying, like, God, you want to take this away? Because this ain't as much fun without my friends. Like the community is a huge part. And God, God never said, yes, take it away. Now I tried to do some other things, like, what if I do this too? And none of that stuck. Like I had to work through the mindset things with money and stuff. But part of my thought, we have these thoughts that when I have this, then I can do this. When I have this, when I get this, when I have time for this, whatever that we all have that thing. I know you have a thing. I'm gonna tell you mine, but yours is probably different. I want you to think through this. But mine was when I hit Emerald, then somebody way up there will see how hard I've been working for 11 years. Someone is going to take me under their wing and guide me to Sapphire. Like I'll finally get some of that. Like I'll be seen. You know what happened? I hit Emerald and I was seen for like a month from a lot of people, and then like crickets, and back to lonely and back to trying to fight for Emerald the next month, but this time by myself. It's really hard. And I had this thought that, man, so and so is, they went to Sapphire, but their upline worked with him all the way there. This person, my other friend, she's going to Sapphire and she's locked in with her upline. I'm not going to have that. And maybe I'm not going to be able to do it, or it's going to take me so much longer because I don't have an upline. That's the lie. That was a lie. And guys, I had some tears this year about that. And I'm so thankful that God showed me. And you know what the thing was that helped me see that lie? I thought about all the diamonds who have people that can't get to emerald. There's di- People don't magically move up because they have a diamond lock in arms with them. There are diamonds who can't develop certain people on their team. It's the person, it's not the diamond. And so if it is the B, it's me. It's got to be. I don't need that. You know, like God can do it. And I almost see the blessing, you know, from being with other Jules, that I get to do it how I want to do it. I get to lead my team freely. I don't have to take on anyone else's, you know, this is how you do it. I'm like, I get to build something the way I want. And I'm so thankful for that. But I'm thankful that God made that clear. Like, Lacy, that's a lie. So what is it for you? I'll make more videos when my kitchen looks better. That was one of mine a couple of years ago. We moved to a new house. I'm like, when I have a pretty white kitchen, then I'll do. I got a pretty white kitchen now, and I'm not making videos. It wasn't the kitchen, you know. What is your thing? When my kids finally let me have time, then I can do this. No, we blame all the things we don't have instead of just taking ownership and doing the thing that we know we should do. So is there something like that that speaks to you that you're like, okay, this is the thing that I'm saying, well, when I finally, then I can. No, you can do it right now if you wanted to. That's just a lie we believe. Can I say that? Is that okay? You can say that because that's how I felt. All right, I'm gonna close with one last thing, and then I'll let you guys go. We got things to do, right? Um, one of the things that I had on my list is that one day when I hit Emerald, yes, I'll go to Mexico, or it was Hawaii. Yes, I'm gonna, you know, you have those things. I'm going to get an oboe. I used to play the oboe with the instrument. I haven't bought it yet, but that was one of my things. Like when I finally hit Emerald, I'm going to buy the oboe. I played for 11 years. I've never owned one. They're like $5,000, like the one that I would want. And my husband's like, we don't have money. Like, what are you going to do with you? You're just going to tutor around the house with your oboe? Like, not what, you know, it's still on the list. I want to have ball of money so I can get an oboe and it make the, like, we have money to buy an oboe. We've had the money, right? But it's not the priority. Okay. So I had an oboe. The other thing is I had braces on the list, guys. I had braces. When I finally get to Emerald, I will give myself braces. I just got braces that came off 2 weeks ago. Okay. But I had told myself that I would not get braces until I hit Emerald. I haven't been Emerald for that long, guys. So I want to tell you the story about how I got braces. Okay. Um, I had always had that on my vision board. Then I will be allowed to. Almost like I have to earn that I need my teeth fixed. Like I almost felt like that. Like God will give it to me when I finally earn it. Okay. This was how I felt. And one day I was on my stories in the end of 2024 and I was making a video. I said, one day I'm going to get braces and an oboe. Like I was telling my Instagram audience. I don't know why I tell them weird things about me, myself. And I said, I'm going to get this oboe. I'm going to get my braces. And a friend of mine messaged me and she said, Lacy, did you just say you wanted braces? Please call me. Call me right now. Call me right now. And I was like, my heart was beating like, God, what is going on here? Like, what's going to happen? And she said, listen, is it just the money? And I said, well, yeah, kind of. Like it's, again, it's above the oboe, but it's, I made it 40 years, guys, with these teeth. And I just kind of started to sign, it builds my character. You know, God's trying to keep me humble. You know, can't have everything going on. So I had a little crisscross right here. Okay. Okay. I could deal with it. All right. Because I'm like, I will just have a bigger personality. Okay. Listen. So my friend says, Lacy, God told me a year ago that I needed to buy you braces. This is before I hit Emerald, guys. This is me like struggling to keep Ruby points when she told me this. Okay. God told me a year ago I'm supposed to buy you braces. And you have to let me do this because I've not been obedient. And I think I just was prideful to tell you that because I didn't know how to bring it up. And so I said, okay, like, I don't think you should do that. She's like, I can and I should and I'm going to. So within a week, she put money in my account. I went and got braces. 2 weeks later, I had braces put on, paid for in cash. And I want to tell you what this did for me because this was before I hit Emerald. This is before I made it back up to senior Ruby points. This was at the end of 2024. And it made me remember that I don't have to earn God's love. I don't have to earn his favor. I don't have to achieve to be seen by him. He's for me. He's for me right now. I don't have to hit a certain rank to be loved by God. So I got the braces, and that did something that shifted my mindset in building business builders. It made me expectant that I had been faithfully praying for 5 years. Well, not for 5 years, sorry, for a couple of years, for 5 people who would want to do the business with me. I'd been faithfully praying. So from that moment on, that was the end of 2024, 2025, I had different eyes. God is for me. I am expecting him to answer these prayers because a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. If I'm praying for builders, he's going to send me builders. And I had like one person at that time who was building, and I was just a little over Ruby points, maybe 2025. And in the end of March, one of my friends joined me in Plexus for the third time. She had been in another company at the top of the company, and her health was not the same the other 2 times. This time it was different. She started the products, and because she was a former network marketer, she said, whenever they help me, I'm going to send everyone to you. And I boldly did things with her that I know to do, but I was not always doing with every other person. I pulled out every card boldly and courageously and said, actually, can you make a post before the products come? Make them today. Tell the people why we talk tonight, how you're struggling. It will just encourage people. She did it. She made the post. I woke up the next morning, she made the post. 100 comments. People started watching her. Then she started the products. She started sharing. Then I said, how are you feeling? She said, I'm feeling so good. I said, and I did another thing that I hadn't been doing before because I wasn't expectant. And I'm telling you, this made me remember, God, I expect you to do this, Lord. I'm not just hoping or trying. I'm not doubting. I'm expectant that this is what you haven't taken away from me for 11 years. Why wouldn't she be the one? So I said, would you go live? Would you? She's not bought into the business. So would you go live and tell people, all those people who are watching you, give them an update? From that, from that time, she went live immediately. She said, I'm busy. She wasn't planning on doing business. I'm busy. Can you help these people? Yes. Put me in a three-way chat with all of them. She did. She put me in 9 chats. Within 6 days, we signed up 9 of those people. I got on the phone with her people. I I got 2 of them under her referral link. And then I said, you know what? If you had one more, you could make $300. Can we flip that switch? She said, what? She actually needed the money. She started the business. She fast started senior silver. And then I said, can you go to a convention? Do you have any miles? Would you come hang out with me? She came to convention. She fast started Ruby. And this is all 2025, guys. December of 2025, I hit Emerald. She hit senior Ruby. And I just want to say, glory to God. Like, glory to God. He's so faithful. And I know this is like a silly thing, like my teeth, but I'm like, God, I see your hand. It's not just straight teeth, but you put my eyes on you instead of my own strength. My strength is scarcity. I'm not enough. I can't get enough. I'll never have the right people. God is abundance. God is power. God is good. God is faithful. God is loving, and we don't have to earn it. We can't earn it, but we can be faithful. So I think that's all I want to share with you. I don't have a great in line, but
Oh
I
my
hope that.
gosh. That is the end line. And Lacey, what I'm hearing is you were punishing yourself to Emerald. Like, let me be the whip slayer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, you're not enough. You can't. And that was what you were giving yourself to motivate you to Emerald. And then the Lord came in and said, let me take this cut from you and show you you are enough. You
Mm-hmm.
are able. You are capable. There's no more punishing you along the way. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
only abundance. And I think we
Mm-hmm.
do that out of self-preservation. And you guys, I wish I could tell you it stopped at emerald, but I do the same thing for diamonds. When I'm diamond, then.
Mhm.
When I'm sapphire, then. And it doesn't stop at diamond. When I'm 4-star diamond, then. Y'all, this business, you never arrive. That's the best part of Plexus, right? And
Mhm.
so you've got to mind your mind now where you're at. Lacy, I think that's the most incredible part of your story is the abundance. And because of that, Emerald wasn't an arrival for you. It was a movement of impact.
Mhm.
And it's just it's more than just pass or fail, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
like I think that that's the beautiful thing about your story is like you do give all the glory and honor to God, but not as the genie in the bottle that you rubbed the lamp and he said, well, boom, here's your builder. Here's your builder. You don't have to do any work. See?
Mhm.
Right? I think sometimes if I pray the right prayers and I ask the right things, it will just come. But everything you shared today, you were an active participant in, and you had to take action to do. I was just talking to one of my teammates about this yesterday. I'm saying, like, I think you're just going to have to go for it. Like, I think you're
Mhm.
just going to have to like lean in and show up with belief, knowing you are going to learn and grow and move through a whole lot of things. But the waiting, like nobody ever succeeded in this business by waiting for things to
Mhm.
happen. And so I just really appreciate you vulnerably sharing your story. And what I want to tell you, one of my like vision pieces, and my team knows this, is like what we have created here in the Wellness Warrior community is so that nobody would ever have to feel alone. And you get to go do that now.
Mhm.
You know, you have felt alone at times, and now you get to go create this thing where nobody under you ever has to feel that way.
Yes.
And like that is the beautiful part. So you may never get that answered prayer. Maybe it's through sidelines, mentors, things like that, Jewel School. But like you now, like I think for me, the Lord's like, I've called you to be the one to
Mhm.
create that, you know? And so you get to go do that for your team, and you're doing it.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank
I'm so
you.
excited. You guys, tell favorite part in the chat. Let Lacy read this because your impact is incredible, friend. We are cheering you on to John Maxwell. If it's not this month, it's next month, sis. And
Yes.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you in Mayakoba. Um, you're bringing your family, y'all. She's bringing her whole family. It's gonna be an incredible thing. Um, and yeah, your honesty and willingness to give God all the glory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you,
you,
thank
guys.
you. All right.
Thank you.
I think that's all we got, Lacy. Thank you for pouring into this group, and we're cheering you on, friend.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye,
Go get
guys.
them.